Today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the best investments, in my opinion, that are under $10 right now. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say a little bit about our membership program. Now, one of our notable picks in the recent months has been that when DeMar DeRozan was a free agent, our members were recommended to buy his Topps ungraded for under $12 and his Topps Chrome Refractors for around $250 ungraded. The most recent sale for his Topps Chrome Refractor has been $991, and then his Topps has been roughly around $40, I believe. So our members have been making great money, a near 4x return on DeMar DeRozan's cards. If you guys would like to join in on the program, click the link down below to sportscardsinvest.com so you get the picks much before they will ever reach YouTube, and you'll get 10 picks every single week for the normal membership, and it's just $6.99 a month. So if you would like to join, link is down below to sportscardsinvest.com. The automatic 30% discount will be applied at checkout. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So the first card I believe is a great investment right now, that is around $10, is Ben Simmons and his optics right now. So his optic rookie cards, if you guys don't know, 2016 was before sports cards really became very popular in terms of this new wave. And so the population on these cards is significantly less than, for example, a Zion Williamson optic or a Luka Doncic optic. So that's one great thing, is that the population is very low on these. So when demand does come, prices can go up quite a lot. Now, Ben Simmons, of course, is a little bit of a dark horse player. He's kind of a hit or miss, not going to put up the most points. But he is at the same time, on the Brooklyn Nets. He's on a contender, at least. People believe, the Nets have a strong chance in the East, even though their seeding is very low. And if Ben Simmons does end up returning during these playoffs, I believe that just the sole hype off of his return, given we haven't seen him play in so long, I think that's going to cause his prices to go up, as well as a lot of Brooklyn Nets fans that are wanting to get into their new players' cards. So I think this is a very low-risk investment, but given, the level we've seen Ben Simmons play at, given he's a rookie of the year, he's playing alongside KD, Kyrie, Joe Harris, countless other shooters, I think he has a good opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets, seems to be more motivated than ever. So I think this is a, risk worth taking at around $10 ungraded, or in a PSA 9. I think, it's quite hard for these to go under this price. And given how young Ben Simmons still is and, his overall potential, I think these are a good pickup right now, around $10. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and that is Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, heading into the playoffs, the top seeds in each conference, are going to get a lot of attention. And Jaren Jackson Jr. has been, obviously injured for the beginning of the year, but he's coming back and he's putting up some good numbers. And of course, the Grizzlies are the second seed in the West. They're really trying to pave their way, and I think the Grizzlies, are really going to be a contender in the West for years to come, for 5 to 10 years to come, with Jaren Jackson, Brandon Clark, Dillon Brooks, Ja Morant, of course. So I think it's a very good time to be getting into this young chorus cards, and that, I believe Jaren Jackson is a big part of their young core. He's been a big part of the Memphis Grizzlies' recent success. So I do think it is a good time to be buying into Jaren Jackson. Regular season are when, players can put up numbers and not see the biggest reaction in their prices. But if, playoffs is truly when stars are made. And if Jaren Jackson can continue his level of play into the playoffs, I think he's going to get a lot more recognition and his prices are going to go up, in price. So I definitely think it's a good time to be buying up Jaren Jackson's cards. If you can go for his optic hollows for under $10, that would be my recommendation. So I believe those have been hovering around $10. So if you can get in at around $10, I think that's a very good hold into these playoffs and for the long term as well. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into the next pick, and that is Mikal Bridges. So Of course, I recommend all of his cards, honestly, that are under $10. I'm just going to use his Optic for an example. But Mikal Bridges obviously has been a crucial part of the Suns' success. And the Suns are a team that play so well together and have so many pieces to them that I think it's very kind of delusional to pick one star from that team that's pushing their, success. So I think there's going to be a lot of demand over all of the Suns players given how well they have performed, and if they can make another championship run this year, I think a lot of their pieces are going to see great price increases. And given how low Mikal Bridges cards are, I think there's great opportunity here. As we saw last year when the Suns made that run, Mikal Bridges Optic ungraded went up to around $20. It's currently sitting at around $3, so I think it's a good time to be buying in. All the attention is going to be around the Suns during this postseason. So, of course, Mikal Bridges, I believe, will get his recognition. So, without further ado, we're going to hop right into the next pick, and that is Mikal Bridges' teammate, Cam Johnson. Same reasons, honestly. He's been a big part of the Suns' success. Great scorer, great overall teammate. So I think with the Suns' success, we're going to see some good price increases around Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, and DeAndre Ayton. So it's a good time to be buying in as prices are low right before the playoffs. Pretty simple pick. I think it's a good time to be buying in for those. Now, without further ado, we're hopping right into our next pick, and that is Tom Brady and his 2008 Topps Chrome. So this is a pick that is a little bit out of left field, but I think it's a good buying time for Tom Brady's 2008 Topps Chrome. As we know, the football market has followed a lot of the same trends as the basketball market. One example is with 2012 Prism. If we look at, for example, Tom Brady's 2012 Prism, after 2012 Prism took off for basketball, which is first year Prism, 2012 football started to pick up for football as well. And we see Tom Brady 2012 Prism cards going for quite good money, around $65 ungraded. And that was a trend that was followed by, the basketball market taking off for example, Kobe Bryant's 2012 Prism. So that's kind of what helped the football market take off for 2012 Prism. And same goes with this for 2008 Topps Chrome. As we see, 2008 Topps Chrome has become a very popular set in the basketball side of things, and I think that's got a good chance to really take over in the football side of things as well. If we look, for example, at a comparison, which is Kobe Bryant's 2008 Topps Chrome, ungraded, this is a $182 card. So there's a lot of room for growth if you're getting into Brady's 2008 Topps Chrome for around $10 to $15. Now, I'm not going to guarantee this card and this set is going to take off, but I do think it's a risk worth taking, given that the upside is so huge and the initial investment is so low. So it's a little bit of a shot in the dark, I will say, but the places I made the most money in the past has been when I take a little bit of a shot in the dark and kind of go out on a realm and say, I think this trend is going to pick up for this sport. And that's where you can buy in really early. And, if the set does take off, Tom Brady's cards, of course, are going to become very valuable. So I think it's a good time to be buying in. I would not risk money you can't lose. But also, I don't think these can go much lower than $10 just because it is a Tom Brady Topps Chrome card. And Topps Chrome is very popular. And Tom Brady's, of course, the greatest of all-time football player. So I definitely think it's a good kind of bet to place if you have the money and you're willing to wait a while for the opportunity to arise. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you would like to join in on the program, link is down below to sportscardsinvest.com. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm out. Peace.